opportunity to make the suffering we're about to do a little bit more fun, a little bit easier to stay consistent with. All right, so let's get ready to go. I'm gonna turn on a light right here. Oh wow, that's super bright. All right, we turn on that light, and we're gonna get ready to begin. First thing we're gonna do is warm up. We're gonna do some hip curls, but actually I don't remember if I told you about the other stuff. We're doing hip mobility and side splits, and we do it every single day to practice consistency. All right, so we're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff to get loose here in these joints, to do things up and back and side and folded forwards, that kind of stuff. All right. First thing we're gonna do right now is to warm up. All right, we're gonna do something called hip cars. Hip cars look a little bit like this: controlled, articulated rotations. We're gonna lift our knee as high as we can directly in front. From here, we're going to open up that leg to the side. We're going to contract these muscles. We're going to try and point that knee directly that way and keep on lifting as high as you can. We're going to rotate the leg. We're going to bring the ankle up so that it's as high as the knee. We're going to rotate some more. We're going to bring the knee down. We're going to lift the ankle up. Ooh, you're going to feel contraction here in your hamstrings. It's going to feel a little crazy. And we're going to bring the leg down and back. Ooh, when you bring the leg down and back, I want you to bring it down like this. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the front of the hip. That is one rep. I got part of a broom, some random stuff in the background. If you could not tell that I just rushed back into the room to start doing the show, now you know. Let's go. We're going to do 10 of those on the left side, 10 of those on the right side. Let's do it. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's six. Ooh, I'm off balance. Take a second, reset, and high knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's seven. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's eight. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 10. We've done 10 on one leg. We're going to do 10 more on the other leg. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Hopefully, you're waking up a little bit. I was just having a little bit of a food coma. I was passed out. And I'm starting to wake up too. All right, let's do this. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's one. If your balance is not so good, feel free to hold on to something to help you with these positions. All right, that's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five. Five more. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight. Two more. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Oh, that's 10 hip cars. I think Chase probably saying I can't see the chat, and there's some questions that just came in. Oh, is it good to do these after a long hike? If you're able to balance, if you're able to move around, this will help cool down, help you work some of those tense muscles very intentionally. But if you just did a hike, might be a little bit wobbly, a little bit, not so balanced, and that might be extra challenging for you to do some of these movements. All right, so you should experiment. You should be able to do them, but if you're really tired, they might not come out as smoothly. All right. Thank you, Chase, for letting people know that I can't see the Q&A unless I get really, really close. All right. Next, we're going to move on into our reverse hip curls. All right. When we go in reverse, we're going to do this first. We're going to bring the leg down and back. We're going to flex the hamstrings. We're going to flex the glutes. We're going to lift that leg up to the side. Like we're going to go whoop-ah and kick somebody. But we're going to, just do the knee bend for not actually kick people. Feel that contraction right here in the side of the hip. Then we're going to rotate. We're going to bring the ankle up, bring the knee down. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to bring the knee up, the ankle down. We're going to bring that knee forward. That is a very confusing one rep, right? But we're going to do it 10 times on the left leg, 10 times on the right leg. I'm going to face you so you can mirror me. Let's go. Bring that leg down and back. Side ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Take your time with these. I know I go a little bit fast. That is because the slower you go, the more exhausted your muscles are going to be. That's 2 back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. But if you're brand new to this, these movements are going to feel a little crazy. They're going to feel a little weird. You've never done anything like this before, and you might need to take a little longer. All right. You'll also probably be a little more tired because you're going to be firing a whole bunch of muscles you probably don't need to be firing in order to do this move because you haven't figured it out just yet. So the first couple of days are going to be a little bit harder. And as you get more experience, as you do a couple more of these, you will get better and better and better, right? That's 7. Whew. My balancing leg is tired. Give me a second. I'm going to shake it out. Whew. All right, let's do this again. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. Last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That is 10. Whew, if your hips are feeling like they've been through a whole lot today, that is what we're after. All right, let's continue. Let's wrap this up with our final leg. Let's do this. Stand up nice and strong. Keep that core tight. Put all your weight in one leg, and let's go. Back, side, ankle up, oh, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. If you've been here for a while, you're regular, you've been doing this for a little bit, try to keep the rest of your body as stable as possible. So when you're moving, you're getting as much range of motion out of that leg where it connects to your hip, right? So that you're not just spinning around because all these other joints are also moving at the same time. You want to get as much focus in that joint as possible. All right, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 5. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 6. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 7. 3 more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 8. 2 more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. Oh, that is a whole bunch of hip curls. Hopefully, your hips are feeling looser than before. You can flop around and do some crazy looking hippie stuff. And we're going to move on into our second warm up exercise. All right, what we're going to do next is called the elephant walk. It looks a little bit like this. We're going to fold at the hips. We're going to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground until we get into sort of an L shape. All right. If you're a little less flexible, you're a little higher up, that's okay. Don't worry about it. If you're a little bit more flexible, that's great too. Relax. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Now, once you let a little bit of that tension go in your spine, you've taken a couple of breaths, we're going to move, all right? I want you to bend one knee. I want you to straighten out the other leg. I want you to fold your belly button down. And I want you to switch the legs back and forth. So one leg is always bent and one leg is always straight. I want you to feel that in your hamstrings. I want you to switch from side to side, nice and deep and intense. Ho, ho, ho. And while you do this, I'm going to tell you about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we're putting ourselves through right now a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. So if you want to work on hip mobility, you got to work on your hamstrings, some of these hip things, struggling to stand up off the ground, that type of stuff, and then you want to turn it into something more advanced like side splits, then you're in the right place. If you need some help practicing consistency, and you know you love showing up for one day of workouts, but you can't get yourself to do 3, 4, 5 of them, then you're also in the right place because this show is all about consistency. We're here at the same time every single day, 7 days a week, and hopefully that helps you stay a little bit more consistent. All right? So hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, and let's get this workout done. We're going to fold a little bit deeper now. All right, bring that belly button down. Bring it down a little bit more. Bring it down a little bit more. Bring it down a little bit more. And keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Pop into a little bit of a squat. Come on back up into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. We're going to move on into number 3. Number 3 looks a little bit like this. We're going to actually get right back into the position we were just in. So one leg is bent, one leg is straight. Our belly button's folded forward. We're taking the arm. This is different. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across. We're going to push off the shin bone, all right? We're going to push it off and rotate our spine a little bit. I want you to try your best to extend your arm straight up. If it's at an angle a little bit, you can't reach straight up, that's okay. Just try your best. Look at that hand. Rotate your neck. Inhale. Exhale and reach over your shoulder. Ooh. The goal of that stretch, if you hadn't noticed, is to rotate the spine. Get a little looser up here, all right? We got to do the other side. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Push off that leg, open it up. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Ooh, that is 1 rep. We're doing 5 of these, all right? Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 3. Inhale. Exhale, reach. When I say exhale and reach, I really mean it. I want you to let all the air out of your chest as much as you can when there's no air pressure in there. You know, when you don't have like a soccer ball in your chest, it's all squished out. It's much easier to twist, much easier to rotate. Cool? All right. 4 and 5. We got 2 reps left. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. That's 4. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 5. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 5. We have just wrapped up our 3rd warm-up exercise. Hopefully your spine is a little bit looser. I hope you start doing some body rolls, start working those hips, doing some cool moves, and we're going to move on into our 4th and final warm-up exercise after that, all right? Just making sure I got nothing to fall against behind me. And we're going to do our 4th move, the Cossack switch, all right? It looks a little bit like this. I'm going to show you an extreme intense version, and I'm going to talk about some less intense versions that more of us will be able to get into, all right? The goal, ultimately, is to get into a deep squat position on one leg, as low as you can, and basically a side split on the other leg, all right? We're trying to get real low to the ground. Most of us not going to be able to get there right away. Most of us, your version is going to look a little bit more like this, all right? This leg is slightly squatting, this leg is mostly straight, and you're somewhere in the middle. Cool? Wherever you are, whether it's here or here or here or here or here, our next step is to move our butt that way. Cool? So, if you're a little bit higher up, you might find that it's easy enough for you to get over to the other side. If so, great. Stick with it. If you're a little lower to the ground, you might find you get a little stuck. You can't quite get over there, and you might want to use your hands for a little bit of support. All right? Whatever it is that you need to do, I hope you figured out your first one, because we're going to do 10 of those. All right? Hands down, come on across if you need it. If you're a little bit higher up and you don't need to put your hands down, that's totally fine. If you're somewhere in the middle and you're like, I wish I could put my hands down, but I can't reach, feel free to grab a coffee table, an ottoman, and help yourself over that way. I think that was 2. We're going to do 8 more. Let's go. Keep on going. If you realize you don't need your hand support, you're strong enough, you got good enough balance to continue without your hands, feel free to skip it. All right? Keep on going. I think this is 4. If you realize you're ready for more, if you're like, this is too easy, let's go a little harder. Try and stand up a little straighter. Keep your chest up. Stick your arms out in front of you to counterbalance and keep going. Across and back. That's 5. Let's do another. Across and back. That's 6. If your knees are telling you, hey, we don't like this anymore, here's a variation to make things a little easier on yourself, right? If you come up a little bit relative to wherever you were. So if you were here, come up a little bit. If you're down here, come up a little bit. Wherever you were, come up a little bit. Should make it easier for you to go slide on over and then slowly sink back down on the other side. All right? Up, slide, down. Up, slide, down. Up, slide down. I think that's 8. For the final 2 reps, we're going to do some squats. If you are not ready for squats, if any of these variations felt too intense, feel free to do whatever you're capable of, right? You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to lead us in some squats. Cool? Slowly come on down as deep as you can on one leg. And I want you to breathe. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your squatting leg. Inhale. And I want you to, on the exhale, push through that leg, come back into standing. Ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale. That is number 9. All right. Slowly come down on the other leg. Inhale, exhale, sink into it. Get real deep into that stretch. And let's go. One more inhale. Exhale and push. That's 9. We got one last rep. You know the drill now. We're taking it slow, coming on down. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper. We're going to inhale again. Exhale, power through. That's 10. Last leg, last rep. Let's do it. Come on down. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. And one more inhale. Exhale, power through. That is 10 reps of Cossack switches, Cossack slidey things, and Cossack squats. When you've completed all of those, give yourself a nice shake, a nice wiggle, help your muscles relax. Congratulations, we finished our warm-up. All right. If you somehow don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're currently putting ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little easier to do, a little easier to stay consistent with. All right? So, if you haven't yet, hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back because we're here every day, 7 days a week. But immediately right now, we're going to move on to some hamstring stretches. All right? What I want you to do is grab a little bit of padding for your knees. All right. We're going to do our hamstring stretch a little bit like this, with one leg in front, one leg kneeling, and we're going to fold forward like so. So your knee padding doesn't have to be fancy. If you have a stuffed animal, perfect. Use that. If you have toys your dog has ripped apart, perfect. Stuff the stuffing back in, put it under your knee. Dirty laundry, roll it up, stick it under your knee. Couch cushion, decorative pillow, random bits of foam, lost sandal, you only got one of those left, whatever, stick it under your knee, you got a little bit of padding, all right? So once you've grabbed whatever you're going to use, we're going to stand up, or I guess kneel up nice and straight, so that we're in this nice tall position. We're going to extend one leg out in front of us, all right, while maintaining that nice straight tall line. Cool. From here, we're going to fold our belly buttons down towards our thighs while we exhale. We're going to go inhale, exhale, and fold. And then as soon as you get stuck, your hamstring tells you, no, we're not doing this no more. And then you get stuck. We're just going to inhale and exhale. We're going to slowly relax. We're just going to breathe. All right. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that stretched out leg. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3 times. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Hopefully you've let your back relax over that leg a little bit. We're going to add some movement now. All right. I want you to bring your knee up into sort of a little Captain Morgan's pose, a lunge if you prefer. And we're going to fold our upper bodies down to that leg like so. Whee! From here, we're going to put our hands down on either side of that leg. We're going to slowly straighten out that leg. And we're going to feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Cool? I want you to try and keep folding as deep towards that leg as you can when you do that. Up, knee up, chest down, straighten it out, feel that stretch. Woo! Knee up, chest down, straighten it out, feel that stretch. Woo! That's 2, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Woo! That's 3, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 4. Let's go, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 5. Once you're done, you're 5. We are going to fold a little deeper into our stretch. All right, we're going to do something called the inhale, exhale, and fold. We're going to take a huge breath into our lungs. We're going to slowly exhale that air. And while we're exhaling that air, we're going to fold our belly buttons down to our thighs. All right, let's do it. Big breath in, inhale. Slowly exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. Yours does not have to look like mine. Yours could look better than mine. Yours could look worse than mine. You could be folded a whole lot less. That's okay. All right. When I say exhale and fold, that's the only goal. We're just trying to fold our belly buttons down towards the ground. Ready? You're already done, actually. We don't have to be ready for anything. We're going to inhale, relax now. All right. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. If you're feeling a whole bunch of tension in your upper neck, your upper back, your mid back, your low back, you're probably working too hard. Right now, if your back is rounded, it's only because we're just chilling. We're flopping over. We're letting gravity pull us down. If you are trying to smash your face into your knee and you're going, ha, and you're putting a whole bunch of pressure on your neck, you're working too hard. Chill, relax, and inhale, relax again. That's two. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3 times. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. Knee, chest, straighten. Whew, that's 1. Knee, chest, straighten. Whew, that's 2. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 3. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 5. We're gonna fold a little deeper. Y'all ready? Let's go. Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Bring that belly button down. Woo! Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop again. Inhale, relax. That's the 3rd time you're feeling that stretch in your hamstrings. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. Woo, that's 1. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 2. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 3. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 5. We're hanging out for 30 seconds and we're done with this leg. All right, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. You can focus on just breathing and relaxing. You can try to straighten out your back a little bit to see if you can get a better gauge of just how deeply you are folded. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch for one leg. All right. Bring that leg back. Kneel for a second. Push your hips forward. Flex your glutes like somebody's about to spank you. Flex your abs like somebody's about to punch you. Go and stand up nice and strong. Superman pose for a second. And once some of these muscles have woken up, we're going to get ready to stretch again on the other side. Let's continue. Standing or kneeling up nice and straight and tall. We're extending one leg out in front. We're folding the belly button down towards that leg. All right, let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Woo, as soon as you get stuck and your muscles are going, no, pause, inhale, relax, and breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Remember, we're letting the back drape down because we're relaxed, not because we're trying to smash our face into our knee. Chill, relax, breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Feel that stretch building in your hamstrings. We just switched legs, by the way. So if you're like, wow, this leg is so stiff, that is completely normal. You did 3 rounds on the other leg. This is just round 1. You got time. All right. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 1. Take your time with these. Definitely try your best to feel the hamstring stretch at the end when you straighten out that leg. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 3. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 5. And we're going to fold a little deeper. Inhale, exhale, fold. Ready? Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Woo, bring your belly button down. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop into that stretch again. Inhale, relax. Let
Let your body flop some more. Third time's a charm. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 1. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. Ooh, definitely take a second. Feel that hamstring stretch. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 3. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Last one. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 5. We're ready to fold a little bit deeper. All right, we already folded once. This is the second one, I think. So we are almost done. Ready? Inhale, exhale, relax. Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Fold, 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 fold. Woo! Inhale, relax. Let your body flop into that leg. Let's do it again. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop some more. Third time. Inhale, relax. That is 3 times. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 1. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 3. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 4. Last one. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 5. Feel that hamstring stretch. We're hanging out here for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Keep breathing. If you want, you can just focus on relaxing. If you're a regular, you've been here for a while, you can try to smash your heel into the ground like you're going to lift yourself up with just your heel and see if you can get that hamstring stretch to feel even crazier because you're contracting your hamstring at the same time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Everybody relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. That is our hamstring stretch. We're done. If that felt crazy, if that felt like a lot, you're like, my hamstrings have never been through this much brutality ever. That is okay, because we're done with it. All right. And also, sometimes you need an extra push to push through some of the uncomfortable stuff, because a lot of good stuff happens at the end of it. All right. Whew. But the good news here is that was the hardest thing that we do, I think, in the show. That might not be totally true. For now, it's the hardest thing that we've done in the show. This next one's going to be a lot chiller, all right? Move your butt up against the wall. Shoulders, head resting against the wall. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your feet together. Pull them in towards your groin. This is the setup for our second stretch, the butterfly stretch. In some other places, it's called the tailor's pose as well. So if that makes you happy, tailor's pose. Next, we're going to try to bring our knees down into the ground because the goal of this stretch is to stretch out the inner thighs. The way we get it to feel more like an inner thigh stretch is by pushing our knees down. I want you to get control. I want you to build strength and power at the same time. So I want you to flex your glutes. I want you to flex your outer thighs. I want you to pull yourself into position. All right. And I want you to bring your knees down using your own muscle power. Whew. If you're new to the show and you're like, I have no idea how to do this, do not worry. Focus on 2 things. 1, you're feeling the stretch increase here in the inner thighs. And 2, the knees you might see are going down a little deeper into the ground. All right. As long as you're doing both those things, everything else is just a small detail. All right. Third step, we're going to take our hands, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure to the inside of our legs. We're going to try and push them straight down into the ground. We're going to hang out for about 30 seconds. We're going to breathe, inhale, exhale. On the exhale, I want you to take a nice, slow, deep, long exhale. I want you to try and push your legs down towards the ground when you exhale. All right? That's it. That's the whole thing. Let's go. 30 seconds. Inhale. 29. Exhale. 28. 25. 24. 23. 22. Inhale. Exhale. 17. 16. 15. 14. Inhale. 13. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2.
1, 0. Whew, that is our whole stretch. See, it was a lot easier than the first one. All right, let your wrists stop pushing into your legs. Let your arms and your legs chill for a second. Give your wrists a little wiggle, little shake, and then start flapping the wings of your butterfly, your thighs. All right, flap everything a little bit. Let them relax a little bit, and let's get back into our next stretch. Stretch number 3. All right, stretch number 3 is our standing pancake. What I want you to do is come into standing and then open up your legs just a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy, just a little bit is fine. We're gonna fold our belly button down towards the ground like so. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, as soon as your hamstrings are telling you, no, oh, we don't like this, feel free to pause right here. This is our starting position. All right. The goal of this stretch is to bring our upper body in between our legs, and it's gonna be really, really hard for most people. So we're going to be in a position that looks a little bit like this, and we're going to be trying to bring our head down closer to the floor, with a main goal being bring our belly button down as low as we can. All right. If your balance is not so good, this is an opportunity for you to go grab a chair, grab a stool, grab something that can let you sit on it. If you're less flexible, the higher your seat, the better it will be. The more flexible you are, the lower the seat you need. And we're going to get back into the same exact position we were just talking about. We're folding forward. We're letting gravity pull us down into our stretch. And if you need your stool, if you need your chair, feel free to go grab that right now. All right. Otherwise, for the rest of us, if your balance is otherwise good, the standing pancake usually is going to be the most effective stretch for beginners, all right? Because gravity is going to feel real awful pulling you right down into the ground. Now, to make gravity feel even more intense, you got a couple options. You can extend your arms above your head so that your biceps are by your ears. You can hold some light dumbbells, maybe a heavy water bottle, in your hands while you do that, and the gravity will pull you deep down into your stretch, and it will be intense. All right. You can also open up your legs a little bit wider if you want when you fold forward. That is optional. That is up to you. It's going to make things harder. Again, optional, up to you. And that's it. Let's go. Whew. Extend your arms. Straighten out that back. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. Bring your belly button down towards the ground. 30 seconds. 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pancake stretch. Come on out of it. If you're really low to the ground right now, feel free to put your hands down and wiggle your heels and your toes in towards the center of your body, and then slowly push off those legs until you can come back into standing. That is our third stretch. Standing pancake. Whew. We're going to move on pretty much right away into our fourth stretch. It is the figure four stretch. All right. If you are regular on the show, you know you can do the pigeon or the figure four, whichever it is that you prefer, but I will be demonstrating the figure four tonight. In the figure four stretch, we're basically doing this. We're taking one leg, we're crossing it over to the other side. We're bringing that leg in towards our chest, and we're just pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. You bring this leg up towards your chest, and you're going to feel a stretch here in the side of your hip. That's a glute muscle. You're going to feel a stretch maybe in your hamstrings. You might feel a little bit here where you're actually doing the folding. All right. The wonderful thing about the figure four stretch is we do it lying down. So come on down to the floor and lay down. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Oh, that's nice. Hopefully your floor is nice and cool. It's nice and comfortable after all the sweating that you're doing. And breathe. All right, let's go. Taking one leg. We're crossing it over to the other side. We're making this triangle right here. We're going to bring our arm through that triangle and the other arm around the outside of everything. And we're going to have our hands meet and pull this leg, the one that's not crossed over, towards her chest. All right? I want you to breathe. Inhale.
And I want you to exhale and slowly pull this leg in towards you. Exhale. Pull. Woo. Inhale. Exhale. Pull. Inhale. Exhale. Pull that leg in so you're feeling it in your hips, in your glutes right away. And we're going to hang out here for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Keep on pulling that leg in towards your chest. If your knees are feeling a little sensitive, feeling a little achy, you can cup the knees with your hands and pull on them directly into your chest. If you want, you can try and stick your elbow joint, the inside of your elbow, around that knee and use that to help you pull. All right? 20, 19, 18, 17. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep pulling that leg into your chest. 1, 0. All right, relax. Let everything flop to either side of you. And breathe. All right, let's go to the other side. Cross the leg. Open it up. Find that triangle that we just made. Stick your hand through the triangle around the outside. Grab that knee. Pull everything in towards you. Oof. Inhale. Exhale. Pull that leg in. Inhale. Exhale. Pull that leg in. Inhale. Exhale. Pull that leg in. That is 3 times. Cup the knee. Pull it in some more. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Keep on trying to bring the leg in towards your chest. 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. All right, relax. Let your back flop to the floor. Let your hips relax. That is our 4th stretch. If you can, come back into not laying down. And let's talk about our 5th and final stretch. If you're just joining in for the first time, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. So far, everything we've done has been a lot of hip mobility. All right. And that's because all of this is preparation, loosening up all the different muscles involved in our side splits. We're going to move on into our 5th and final stretch. We're going to do some side splits. All right. Everything so far has been in preparation. So hopefully you've been experimenting, feeling all the different muscles in your body go, and now you're ready to combine everything into some side splits. We do this show every single day, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means we started about 40 minutes ago. So if you like it so far, chances are you like it enough that you should keep coming back. Hit follow, hit subscribe, get notified, doom scroll into my other content, and I'll see you again real soon. But first, let's finish up our side splits. All right. First thing I want you to do is grab a little bit of hand support. The hand support's purpose is to help you do this. Give you something to hold on to while you let your legs go a little bit wider. All right. So, what can you use? If you have a folding stool, great. Mine is about 9 inches. If you have a bigger folding stool, amazing. This one, I don't know, it's probably twice as high, 15 to 18 inches. And if you have yoga blocks, that could also work. All right. If they are extra large, if they're extra firm, that probably helps because you're going to be putting a whole bunch of your body weight into them. Whatever it is that you decide to use, I recommend that it's relatively lightweight, easy enough for you to kind of just nudge out of the way, to move out of the way, so that when it is time for you to get out of the stretch, you can just go, get out of the way, and then you can flop over onto the floor or whatever else you need to do. All right. So hopefully you have had a couple of moments now to go find something to support you, and we're ready to begin our side splits. All right. First thing we're going to do is bring our butt up against the wall. Find a nice empty wall for you to rest your back against. And then grab your hand support, pull it in towards you.
All right, open up your legs, and we're gonna fold. Bring your belly button down towards the ground, like so. Whee! Put your hands on your hand support, rest your butt against the wall, and slowly let your legs go out a little bit wider. All right, doesn't have to be crazy wide, just a little bit wider. Next, we're gonna rotate our legs. All right, you got this funky little bone thing that kind of pops out right here, attached to your thigh bone. And if you go like this into your hip socket, that bone will smash into your hip joint, right? And it will hurt, and you won't be able to get very far because you're smashing your bones into each other. But the quick fix to this is rotating the leg backwards 90 degrees. And then this lumpy part goes behind. It goes into your butt area, and then you don't have to worry about it, right? Everything's just behind you. If you can't see it, it doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. All right, perfect. So we got to do this with the leg. What we're doing right now is having the knees point forward, the toes point more or less forward, right? I want you to rotate the leg backwards 90 degrees so that the heel is down, the toes are pointing up, the knee is pointing up, the inner thigh is pointing forward. All right, we got to do that on both legs. So heel down, toe up, knee up, inner thighs pointing in front. Your hands are on your hand support, your heels are down, your butt is against the wall. Slowly come down. Use that butt support, use that hand support, get yourself into a deeper stretch. All right, take your time. Yours does not have to look like mine. Just find a relatively comfortable position. The reason why a relatively comfortable position is important is because if you are feeling like you're about to fall, if you feel like you're about to slip, if you feel like something is about to go wrong, you're really, really scared right now, your muscles, your body is going to react by getting really tense to protect you. And if you're really tense, your muscles are not going to relax and let you get into a deeper side split. All right, so we need to find a relatively comfortable-ish position where you don't feel like you're about to slip, you don't feel like you're about to fall, you feel like you're in control. All right, now hopefully you found that spot because we're going to breathe, we're going to try our best to relax. I want you to take a big breath in. Inhale, hold that breath for a second here, and then slowly exhale. Relax. See if you can drop a little deeper into your stretch while you're doing it. All right. Don't stress about it if you didn't, because I didn't tell you in advance. Because also that will probably make you more tense if you're stressed out. All right. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Ooh, that's 2. Or do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. That is 3. Now that you are quite a bit deeper, you have some options. One of them is just to chill here for a little bit. The second one is to see if you can wiggle a little deeper. Push your right leg out, left leg out, right leg out, left leg out, right leg out, left leg out. See if you can get a tiny bit deeper close to the floor. And if you can, great. Adjust your hand support, adjust your butt support, adjust your heels. Find yourself a comfortable-ish position so that you're not super tense right now. And we're ready to begin. Our toes are pointing up, our knees are pointing up, the top of our head is pointing up. We're hanging out here for 30 seconds. This is our side split number 1. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. If you can, if your hand support is small enough, light enough, push it out of the way, crawl forward a little bit, give your legs a little bit more room to slowly bring them in underneath you. That is our first side split. We're gonna do 3 rounds of these, all right? So we got 2 more rounds. Right now, your leg muscles should be crazy tense in all sorts of crazy places, and we got to shake them out to help them relax before we get into side split number 2, all right? So come on into standing, take a quick step. Oh, oh. Find your balance. If you need to hold on to something, feel free to grab something. Oh, excuse me. And let's shake it out. I want you to start by shaking out your ankle. Start nice and gentle and pick up the intensity a little bit. And I want you to flop from side to side. I want you to flop forward and back. I want you to make some circles. Floppity flop, flop, floppity flop, 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 floppity flop. And whew, relax. Let's do the other leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Relax. If you're new to the show, the goal of these is to have physical proof, visual proof that your muscles are relaxing. All right. If your calves are flying all over the place, if your ankles are flying all over the place, everything below the knee is relatively chilled out and letting you go do crazy things. If you were super tense, you'd be like, ooh, ah, and not relaxed. So if you're flopping around a little bit, it's a good sign. All right, we're gonna move on into our hips. I want you to put all of your weight into one leg, and I want you to put the big toe of the other leg down like so. We're gonna bring the knees in so they're almost touching. Then we're gonna bring that knee back out so that it's pointing way far over that way. You're gonna use different hip muscles to contract inwards. You're gonna use your glutes to help pull the legs apart. And I want you to go in and out and in and out and in and out and build some control, build some strength, maximize your full range of motion in the hips, because remember, this is a hip mobility show. And when you've done a couple of these, we're ready to go a little faster, shake it out a little bit more, chill a little bit more with it, and relax. All right? Switch to the other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We'll bring the knee in and out. Flex those muscles. Get that full range of motion. And then you can start relaxing. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Do some dance moves and shake everything out. A couple more seconds. Let everything relax. We're going to reset for side split number 2 in like 10 seconds. All right? Whew. When your whole body is getting a little bit looser, let's go. Grab your hand support. Bring it in front of the wall. Bring your butt to the wall. Open up the legs. Let's fold. Bring the belly button down. Hands down onto the hand support. Whee! Open up the legs ever so slightly. And let's get ready to rotate the legs. Heels are down. Toes are pointing up. Knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up, inner thighs are pointing forward, your butt is resting against the wall, your hands are on your hand support, you're slowly sliding down, finding a comfortable position where you feel like you're not completely stressed out and your muscles aren't just crazy tense because they're fighting to keep you from falling over. All right? We're just trying to find a nice balanced spot where you can breathe. Ready? Let's go. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. So you're gonna sink a little deeper into that stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper. Third time. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3 times. I feel like I did 2 and 3 a little fast, so let's do a fourth. All right. Inhale. Hold, 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 hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper. Optional little wiggles from side to side. If you want to try and push a little bit deeper, we're ready for side split number 2. All right. For side split number 2, what I want you to focus on is your inner thigh muscles. So to do that, you might want to lean forwards a little bit to point your knees and your toes up at a diagonal at around 45 degrees. That's going to change the pressure. So instead of feeling it in your hamstrings, you're going to feel it more in your inner thighs. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. You can do these with your hand support. You might be able to do these with your hands on the floor. You can experiment with that, whatever feels good. If you need to make these more intense for your inner thighs, for your legs, you can always bend your elbows. When you bend your elbows, your legs will suffer more. All right? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, push your hand support out of the way. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. That is our second side split. Whew. You might have noticed that round went a lot faster than the first one. Because I don't want you to suffer. I just need you to know what's happening. All right? Let's come back into standing. Whew. Take your time. Breathe. Catch your breath. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, and let's shake it out. Shake out the ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, 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 shake. Some more. Relax. Other side. Shakety, shake, 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 shake. Relax. If your legs feel like they need a little bit more love, go ahead, shake a little bit more. If your knees are feeling achy, something is feeling a little weird, feel free to not shake more. Shake less. All right. The goal is relaxation. The goal is not to shake so hard that other parts of your body starts hurting, because that's the exact opposite of our goal. All right. Our goal is to relax, not for you to be uncomfortable, for you to be painful, and then all these other muscles tense up because they're like, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, and then now you're even more tense than you began. All right. So once you've shaken out your ankles, let's move on into our hips. All of your weight is in one leg, big toe of the other leg is down. We'll bring the knee in and out and in and out. I do a lot of exaggerated movements with my arms because it's fun. You really don't have to do anything with those. All right. All that is happening is where this thigh bone connects to your hip socket. That's where all the motion is happening. I mean, there's muscles contracting and stuff, but like, the bone that's moving is the thigh bone where it connects in your hip socket. And once you've done a couple of those, you can pick up the intensity if you want. You can flop a little bit more. You don't have to do full range of motion. You can go shake, 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 shake. And let's switch over to the side. All of your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. Knee in and out and 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 in and out. Woo. All right, one last big shake. Get loose, get floppy, do some Shakiraing, and let's get into side split number 3. All right, grab your hand support, bring it up to the wall, butt up against the wall, open up those legs. Let's get ready to fold. Whee! Hands on your hand support, legs are going wider. We are rotating the legs so that the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. Sink on down into your stretch. Find a comfortable position where your butt is resting against the wall, your hands are on your hand support, your legs are wide, but you feel relatively balanced, you feel okay, you feel like you got control of the situation so that you can relax a little. All right. Inhale, big breath in. Hold. Exhale. Relax. Whew. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. See if you can relax a little deeper into your second stretch, or into your stretch, into your position. Next, inhale. Exhale. That's 3 times. I kind of like the fourth one from last time. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. 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 Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Little wiggle to the right, wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right, wiggle to the left. We're ready for side split number 3. All right, you got the options. You can keep your toes pointing up, knees pointing up like we did in our first stretch. You can lean a little bit forward so you get the stretch focused on your inner thighs like we did in stretch number 2. I am going to do a version of number 2, and I want you to get into position. Get ready. 30 seconds. Let's do it. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. My ankle is cramping. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. -1, -2, -3. All right, we're done. Walk your hands forward. Give yourself a little bit of room. Pull your legs in underneath you. Grunt, grunt. Make as many sound effects as you need to. Find a comfortable spot. Chill, relax for a second, and breathe. That's side split number 3. We've done almost all the hard stuff. Let's come back into standing. Take your time. And let's shake it out. Ankles. Remember, the goal is to relax your muscles. All right. So you don't have to go the fastest possible shaky shaky. That's not necessarily what's most important. All right. You don't have to have the most range of motion in the shake either, but we do want to be loose. We want to feel loose. We want to feel like the muscles are relaxed. And as you do more of these, as you get more familiar with the feeling of forcing yourself into relaxing, you'll get better and better and better at it. Your brain will figure out how to do it faster and faster, and it will come like second nature to you one day. All right? Shake out your legs. Shake some more. Shake it again. Take a couple of steps. If your legs don't feel great, shake out some more. If they feel okay, we're gonna move on into our hips. All of your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. We'll bring the knee in and out and 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 in. Whew. Other side. All your weight in one leg. Big toe is down. In and out. And in and out 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 and whew. That is our legs. We're going to move on into our two last movements. We're going to do some joint checks. We're going to really slowly do some hip circles. Really lean into that hip joint. I'm going to slowly come on around. Oh, feel the pressure in the muscles in your hip, in the front, in the side, in the back, just everywhere. Maybe in your low back, even. Oh, do a couple of loops. If anything feels crazy, feels uncomfortable, feel free to spend some extra time there. Give it some extra love and go, haha, I see you, or at least I feel you, and that sucks. So I'm going to hang out here. Oh, I don't know why I am talking to my hips as if they're people's, but that's okay. We personify a lot of things. I talk to my dog. That's a living thing, though. I mean, my hips are living things. They're a living part of me. So, all right, whatever. We're going to move on to the next topic. Once you've done a couple of loops this way, we're going to move on into our final move. We're going to do some crazy looking calf raises, right? The way we set up our calf raises look a little bit like this. We're going to bring our legs about hips width apart, not super wide, not super narrow, about hips width apart. We're popping into a squat, all right? It's going to look a little bit like this. I want you to be leaning that upper body forward. Your low back should be firing to help keep you in this crazy looking position, and your center of gravity should be sort of kind of in front of you. All right. Next, we're going to make it much worse. We're going to push your knees forward as well. Now, you're going to feel a crazy stretch in your Achilles tendon, in your calves, while you're already leaning forward, and it's going to force your toes to grip the floor. And that's what we want. We're going to do some calf raises from this position. All right. Put your hands down if you can for support. If that does not work for you, feel free to use hand support. If that does not work for you, feel free to hold on to a wall. You can even face the wall. All right. You don't have to do this exactly the way I'm doing it. I'm just doing it this way for you to see my body in the angles. Cool? All right. Next, we're going to do some calf raises. Achilles tendon stretch, lean forward, calf raise. Bring those heels up, slowly come on down with control. Reset, feel that stretch again, and keep going. Whew, that's 2. Come on back down, slow with control. Reset, push your knees forward, keep going. Whew, that's 3. Reset, push those knees forward. 4. Come on down with control. Push forward. 5. Come on down with control. Push forward. Reset. 6. And reset. 7. Reset. 8. Reset. 9. Reset. If you want to do more, feel free to do more, but that was 10. That's enough. My quads are tired. I don't want to do any more. All right, we're probably pretty good. In those crazy sets of calf raises, we put ourselves through a crazy ankle stretch, right? Crazy calf stretch. We had our quads firing, we had our low back firing, we had our calves doing lots of work in the calf raises, both from a stretched position, and we had our toes and our feet working real hard to keep us balanced, to keep us supported, to keep us from toppling over. So if you were able to do most of that movement, 75, 80% of that movement, then chances are you're probably fine to go back to doing whatever else you have to do for the rest of the day because you're probably doing great. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. We are all wrapped, and it is exactly 10 o'clock. So it is an hour in. So we did good. Nice and fast pace. Whew. Let's see. Is there anything else you need to know? I make a bunch of other content. Most of it is not about side splits. Most of it is not about hip mobility. Most of the time, I'm trying to inspire you to see movement as something fun, something rewarding that you want to do because movement feels good. All right. Whether that's adding a little dance moves, some hip shakes, some body rolls just throughout your day to help unstiffen your spine, unstiffen your hips, just so you feel a little bit more mobile. You feel like you're more ready to tackle whatever random stuff is going on in your day. Or if you want to be more dedicated, feel free to, do some calf raises like we just did. Those 10 reps probably felt absolutely crazy. If you added in those 10 reps every time you went to the bathroom, Every time you got some more coffee from the coffee machine, or every time you, I don't know, grabbed a water break, whatever it is, smoke break, water break, whatever it is that you need to take some time to do, if you add it in 30 seconds of any movement, it's going to be good for you. All right. And I want you to pick movements that you actually enjoy. You don't have to do something that's awful. You don't have to do what somebody recommends is the best move ever. That's not what's important. What's important is that you enjoy the habit of building a little bit of movement into your life. And hopefully that little tiny habit will grow. You'll be like, wow, this does feel good. I move so much better now randomly one day. You'll be like, oh, this is good. This is good. Let me try something else. And then hopefully movement just spreads out into all aspects of your life. One day without even knowing it, you'll just be shimmying across your home, just warming up your spine before you go interact with people. And they'll be like, wow, you're so lively and full of life. And that will be a wonderful compliment. All right. Because the alternative is you're so stiff. You're so stiff. That is not a compliment. So I hope you guys had enough of the life. I hope you've had enough of my terrible jokes. And if you've been here for a while, and heard some of these for the first time today, because I'm making them up on the spot, and you're like, Ken's all stuttery and stuff. What's going on? That's why. All right. Thank you so much again, everyone, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility. We do this live every single day starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday. And that means we'll be here tomorrow night doing the same thing. All right. However, tomorrow is Sunday morning. On Saturday and Sunday mornings, so weekend mornings, we have a bonus live at 9 a.m. So in the morning. And that live is more about slowly waking up, slowly working through your joints one at a time, working on that range of motion, making sure that they're nice and lubricated and loved and can do stuff. We cover your neck, your back, your hips, your knees, your ankles, your wrists, your elbows, all the things I was just doing, shoulders. And if you want a nice, gentle way to have some guided joint mobility stuff to start your day, that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Right? And as soon as we're finished with the joint mobility stuff, we slowly moving through each of our joints and their full range of motion. We move on into some posture work, some anti-slouching work, training up our upper back so that it kind of counteracts this thing that I'm doing right now. Now that I've called myself out, I'm trying to sit up a little straighter. All right. Whew. So that's tomorrow at 9 a.m. And if that sounds like fun, make sure to come back, hang out for that. Otherwise, we are done. I'm gonna look at the chat and see what we are up to. Over on YouTube, Queen R says hi. Mohammed Al Hamadi 891 says hi. Do a backflip. I can't. I can't anymore. I haven't done one in a couple of years. So I would need to really build up some confidence somewhere with a lot of foam first, and then maybe I can get back to it. But I have been able to do backflips once. I have some footage of old backflips. I just haven't had. I'm trying to remember when was the last time I've done a backflip. It's probably been like 5 years. It's probably been since like COVID. That's like 6 years. Oh my gosh, this is a long time ago. Okay, anyways, so that's I'm not prepared. So no, I can't do that. Juliab says hi. Hello, Queen of Iron Waves. Amazing. Lois is back on YouTube and saying, I'm watching here today, feeling flexible today. Amazing. That's good. I was like feeling flexible about your ability to pop in on TikTok or YouTube. Very interesting. Okay, but I think I understood your sentence better after thinking about it. You're feeling good and nice and flexible and loose. Do you think it's because it's a weekend thing? You're just like happier. Maybe you like did some activities. You're just looser because you were moving your body a little bit more today. Now you're feeling more flexible, or do you think, it's just magic? Today is particularly flexible. Then you're like, okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna take a look at the TikTok chat. Fayega says thanks and sends a whole bunch of stickers of me doing cool things. Cat G says thank you and good night. Thank you, Cat, for being here. I appreciate the support. Certified 20 says thank you for the much needed guided stretches. You're very welcome. I'm glad it could be of help to you. Shareth says thank you, Ken, and sends some kitty cats. And Jay sends some more kitty cats. And Kat says thank goodness this was a hard day. Was it? Did you feel like it was hard because you were tired, or do you feel like it was hard because like I dragged something out extra long? Was it like the structure of the show today that was particularly difficult because we're doing a very similar show every single day, but sometimes when I start telling stories and I start chit-chatting, I forget to tell us to stop stretching, and then we just stretch for a really long time. And if that is the cause of some of this hard day vibes, let me know. All right. What else we got? Kat says thank you. Oh, Kat, you're so full of thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you. Travel Directly sends crying emojis, and I'm scrolling backwards. I'm looking up. Charath sent friendship necklaces. Oh, that's super cute. And finger hearts. It's in the gifts gallery. Oh, very cool. All right. Keji says, "Oh my God, please start." Oh no. Oh no. Was I talking too long in the side split? Whoops. Charles actually says hello. All right. I'm gonna scroll up. 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 What else we got? Tereth is doing lots of stickers. Chase sending more stickers. Oh wow, you guys are having a sticker fight over here. There's cats of all sorts. There's Benji. There's me. And there's more me, and then there's more me, and then there's emoji things. I don't know. Those are probably also called stickers. Shenane says, "What the heck?" Indeed. That's what happens when you get really good at stuff. People look at it and go, "What the heck?" So, if you also want to get really good at stuff and have people tell you, "What the heck?" make sure to stay consistent. That is the goal of our show. All right. If you guys, the 12 of you still on, don't know that the show exists because I could not stay consistent doing some side splits training, and I've wanted to do side splits for 15 years, but I never got more than like, I don't know, 6 to 10 days of training a year. And because I never did more than like 6 to 10 days of training a year, never really made any progress um, for 15 years. And 6 to 10 is kind of generous. I'm pretty sure on some years I probably like pulled off like two workouts, and I was like, next time, next time, next time. But this show exists because I was like, this too much. I can't keep on waiting for next times. And now this show is all about practicing consistency. This show is a form of accountability for me because I know you're going to be here. So for me, it's very important for me to support you too, right? I'm a people pleaser, so I like to show up and make sure that I'm here. And that works for me. I've hacked my own lizard brain and forced myself to be very consistent at this very specific thing. And if you want to talk about building consistency for something else that you care about in life and work on that, I'm happy to chat about consistency. All right. Ian says, "Do you know why my right hip has to crack like when you crack your fingers to be more flexible?" Um, it could be a number of things. There's a whole bunch of different tissues that go through your like hip area, and sometimes you just have like a tendon or something kind of snapping right there, a ligament perhaps, just kind of in the way. Maybe it's a little tight, and then once you move, kind of pops out of the way a little bit, and then once it's out of the way, you're fine. But that like little bit of material, nice and snug in your hip or around your hip, sometimes gets it feeling weird. Um, I have a blood vessel. I think I have a vein right here that there's no way you can see that on camera, right? Yeah, the angle is bad. But I have one vein that if I flex really hard, it shifts up and down the arm. And can I get it? Oh yeah, I can. Okay. I'll demonstrate. I'll demonstrate. There's just stuff going on in your body underneath your skin. I don't know if you can see this right here. Oh no, hold on. Where did it? Is that the muscle? Where's the vein? I'm literally losing vascularity as I'm trying to demonstrate this. Literally, it was just shifting in my arm. Oh, there it is. There it is. You see that, like, ah, okay, never mind. I don't know if you can saw it. And whatever. The point is, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on underneath your skin, before your muscles, in your muscles, around your muscles, deeper than your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, all sorts of things. And your hips are very complicated. You got lots of different muscles running back and forth and side to side. So it's very normal for something to just kind of be in the way. And then you kind of have to like force some stuff to shift a little bit for you to open up a little bit more room in your hips. It's not uncommon. What it is specifically, I got no idea. But the idea that there's some gunk there that you kind of gotta clear out of the way, that's relatively normal. All right. Another way to think about this uh,
if you get a massage sometimes and you have like a really tense, messed up muscle that just won't relax. Somebody just stabs their finger into your muscle, and then after some amount of time, they like lift your arm again. You're like, oh, hey, look, that moves way better than before. It's similar in that idea that sometimes something weird is just going on, and you need a little bit of external pressure, you need a little bit of an adjustment of sorts to get back your normal thing. Um, in your case, it's the movement that causes the crack to get back to your normal like flexibility. All right. I hope that kind of just gives you a vague idea of what's going on, because probably doesn't clearly answer your question, because I don't know what's cracking in your hip. Jerica says, for lower back pain, in order to strengthen muscle, what to do? For lower back pain, the big movements on the internet right now is basically using your low back to keep your upper body straight. Do I have a good way to demonstrate this? Sort of. There is a guy who specializes in just this on social media. His name is Low Back Ability, or the account name is Low Back Ability. But the main move that he gets everybody to start with looks a little bit like this. You are just trying your best to use your low back muscles to hold yourself steady for time. And at first, it might be uncomfortable. If you just had an injury, your low back might be like, no, this is awful. I do not like this. Don't make me do this. Please stop. But for most people, you just have to slowly work your way through it until your body realizes actually it's fine. You got a whole bunch of muscles to support you. The pain is a little bit of an overreaction from your brain because it's been so hurt, so messed up in your low back that it's just too excited now, and you have to do a little bit of work to try to train your brain to go, hey, this is okay. We're able to handle this, and that's what sort of that movement is supposed to do. I think low back ability and knees over toes guy have both covered that realm of strengthening the low back initially with just static holds. So just staying isometrics, just staying in that spot for a while until you can hang out for like a minute or two. Maybe hang out for a minute or two with some weight, some extra weight. And then there's a whole bunch of exercises that are involving your low back. But you should definitely check out Low Back Ability. All right. I think his name, the actual guy's name is like Brandon or maybe Brendan or something like that, and he does a good job of inspiring people to take care of their backs. And his actual low back pain story is really, really emotional. So check out that content. All right. What else we got? I'm scrolling up. Cat G Jericho says, hey, Che. Jericho says, thanks. We're scrolling up. We're scrolling up. Yes, Ken. Yes, says Ken with six, or sorry, four exclamation points and six ends. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, and Jericho asked about the long hike in the beginning. Cool. All right. I think that is all of the chat. I have seen everything. I'm gonna scroll right back down to the very bottom and see if there's anything else we need to address. Pete Sake says, amazing. Thank you, I appreciate it. And Che sends hearts. Thank you, thank you. Certified 20 says, smart man, might have to do sobering like this to learn a new language. Oh, something like this to learn a new language. Absolutely. Consistency is hard. It's so I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then you said learn a new language. And I was like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Consistency is really, 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 really hard, right? Like Duolingo exists because they've gamified language learning for the idea that you might be consistent at it compared to the alternative. And I think what is interesting about Duolingo versus, a really intense college course or something is that you don't necessarily get much better at the language while using Duolingo, at least in a fast way, right? Like if you're trying to get this goal done in the next 30 days to learn enough of a language to be able to, I don't know, be a tourist and get around, it might be a little challenging with Duolingo because it's formatted and structured in this way, right? But
if you had somebody who had a very specific course that only specialized in the vocabulary, the sentences, the communication necessary for street, local, slang, and for things like bathroom and ordering beer, that might be way more effective for you. And so, depending on what your goals are, it might not make sense to stick with one thing anyway. But if your only goal is like you're not on a deadline and you're like, hey, I have never been consistent and I just want to be consistent, maybe Duolingo will be the greatest tool for that because it makes it a little bit more fun. There's little awards and all sorts of things. This is not me telling you to go do Duolingo. This is me saying that consistency is hard and people have been trying to make it easier for a long time. And if you are struggling with it and you don't have a deadline, experiment a little with Duolingo. Maybe find something that's exciting about it, find something that's fun. And once you've built a little bit of consistency, maybe you set aside 10 minutes every single day because you've been doing Duolingo, you can go upgrade your experience. You can start spending 10 minutes a day in some other way to learn the language. Right? If you feel like you can consistently set aside the 10 minutes, you can go right in, you can be focused, you can do whatever version of technique of language learning that you've been inspired to use, then ignore everything I've said. What I've said is not important because you've already got consistency. So figure out the best way to learn the language that applies to whatever you need in life, right? But if you can't get consistency, then playing the game a little bit, trying to figure out how to build the consistency, restructuring your life so that you can be consistent where you want to be consistent, that that is a whole game in and of itself, right? And yeah, since we're bringing it up, I'll talk about how it applies in this show. Um, this show used to run at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and the entire audience was like 12 people from Instagram who found out about the live because Movement by David, who's like a super flexible, big fitness influencer, shared some of my content at one point or 2 points or like a couple times because I was in like his movement challenge and I was posting videos about it. He was like, cool, and shared some stuff. So, because for whatever reason, everybody who ended up following me and kind of ended up being European. The live happened at 2 o'clock, like lunch-ish time, and at some point I started traveling, and I was like, man, I can't maintain this, and I'm about to lose my entire audience because I need to switch to a new time. And if I move to this new time, the European audience that I had been like developing would completely be asleep. Like it'd be unreasonable for them to be awake. And I got really nervous, and I was like, man, I don't know if it's going to help me stay consistent anymore because I don't have the pressure to show up because I know other people are showing up waiting for me to show up. And it turned out it was fine because Instagram lives basically only get shared with your existing audience, but TikTok and YouTube lives get shared with a whole bunch of randos on the internet. And so there is a like discovery ecosystem. And as soon as somebody comes in, I feel obligated to do some teaching, some explaining, answering questions, and everything is fine, right? So that I know works for me. And you know, 500 something days ago when I first started, I just needed to know enough to explain what I'm doing with some clarity, with some coherency, and then we were rolling, right? And it just needed to be personable enough for people like me, enough to invite people to come back and inspire some people to care. That was super useful for me. But this show, in and of itself, right, is designed to be 7 days a week. I show up 7 days a week. That for most workouts, right? Most things you find on the internet, they're like, don't do that. You should take rest days. You should absolutely stop and not do it 7 days a week. You should do it 3 days a week and take a rest day in between each day. I do not do this for this show. And sometimes that comes back to bite me in the butt because if I don't sleep well for like 2 days because I'm doing something, or I eat really poorly because I'm visiting friends and we're just eating like slobs. Sometimes I'm not recovering fast enough, and then the next day I'm a little achy, I'm a little tired, I'm a little eh. and that's not so good. That's what the rest day is there for, to prevent. But um, I've designed the show for the most part to be at the edge of what I'm capable of recovering from on a daily basis, so that I can do some version of this show with you guys live about 7 days a week. Right? I used to do this show 9 times a week. On Saturday and Sunday mornings, I'd do a bonus round. So on Saturdays and Sundays, I'd be doing 2 rounds of this back and forth. And at some point, I was like, okay, that might be a little bit too much. So at the behest of my girlfriend, who was yelling at me and scolding me, told me to change it up. So I was like, okay, fine. Saturday and Sunday mornings, we'll do something a little bit more gentle, a little bit more caring for our joints, and a little bit more relaxed so that I can recover from it, right? So the what do I even want you to take away from this? Why did I suddenly go deep into this tangent? I want you to take away that we want to do something that is sustainable, right? If you suddenly commit 3 hours a day to studying and you have like no other system other than pure willpower holding you into studying 3 hours a day, for most people, that's not going to last very long. All right. But you might be the rare exception. You might be the person who absolutely loves to learn. And if that works for you, dang, that's awesome. Congratulations. You have won the like learning new stuff cheat code. Um, but for most people, if you do 3 hours in one day, the next day you're gonna be like, oh, I did 3 hours yesterday. I need to take a day off. And then if you take one day off, maybe you'll end up taking 2 days off, maybe you'll take up 3 days off, and then you'll get back, you'll do one day, but instead of doing 3 hours, maybe you do 1 hour, and then you're like, oh, I did do already an hour, but the last time I took 3 days off, and maybe I'll take another like 2 days off because an hour was a lot. And start giving yourself a whole bunch of excuses. So I think that when you're first trying to build a habit, build a skill around something, you should try to do it more often rather than less often. You should try to make it something that happens so frequently that it just becomes a normal part of your life rather than something that you have to like wait. And that might mean that you have to do it in a way that's a little suboptimal for the learning goal, right? Doing 2 minutes of learning a new language might not be like enough practice or something. I don't know. I don't know what the science for that stuff is. But hypothetically, you'd be like, I actually would prefer if we were studying for 15 or 30 minutes. But if you did 30 minutes, maybe that would make you really tired, make you grumpy because you're like, oh man, this was really awful. We did it for a whole 30 minutes. If that happens, then you're not going to want to come back, right? So you have to design the way you study to match some way your own personality, your own preference for learning, your own preference for how much relaxation, how much, intensity you have, so that you can come back, you can do it again the next day, and you'll be like, cool, that was awesome. Maybe you're not super excited about it, but you're also not feeling negatively about it. You're just relatively neutral or slightly positive. That's probably the goal. I hope that kind of makes sense and it wasn't too rambly, but if it was, it's already done. So there's nothing else we can do about it. Certified 20 says, aye, aye. Certified 20 says, you are not wrong. Cool. Well, anyways, I hope that lecture had something valuable that you can take away, and I hope you have a great time working on your language studies. I am currently working on a whole bunch of things. One of them is French, but realistically, I haven't touched French in a really long time. And then I have instead picked up Duolingo chess, and chess is way more fun than French. So I have been playing a lot of Duolingo chess. Anyways, that's it. We're done. It is 10:25. We are going to wrap up. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on trying to make yourself a little bit more mobile, a little bit more flexible, enjoying movement because it's fun. And I hope to see you soon. All right. We got more lives at 9 p.m. Eastern. Side splits hit mobility every single day, 7 days a week. If you prefer something a little bit more chill, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. we are doing a little bit of joint stuff to help wake up our body first thing in the morning. All right. What else we got? Good night. Good night. Good night. All right. Awesome. I'm closing out. I'll see you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend if I don't see ya, and enjoy your Saturday night. Bye bye. Queen says thank you and bye.